think I'm live. I'm blue again. Hello, hello. Oh, try and get this to go over here and try to, not wanting to be that yellow either. Hello. White balance. Oh, it's like either be really yellow. Oh. It's like, hello, Simon. I am orange. I have been in the tanning bed. I have never been this color. I have tanned and been a little more colorful, but I, in general, am very Nordic, Irish, Swedish fair. Hello. Oh, I don't need this in my ear. Take that out. Put my glasses on so I can see. Oh my goodness, they are dirty. Nikki, you fixed your laptop. Yes. Congratulations, Miss Nikki, on fixing the laptop. Let me try to clean my glasses so I can read. Hello. What is this name? I love it. Shaylin Groot. Shaylin Groot? What should I call you? Shaylin Groot or just Shaylin? Okay, let me see where I can see. There we go. I've got everybody's really far back. Let me adjust here for a second. One moment, please. For my class, I shove everything back so that I can have space for hands down and showing the cards. But I don't know what that noise was. But I can't read then, so Shay is fine. Okay. But then I can't read anything. So I now pulled you forward so I can read. I also have, and I don't think I'm going to like it, I got a ring light because I was so dark. But look, if I look, I don't really go like this. So I don't know. I forgot to ask my class at the end if that was really distractive because I don't like there to be lights in my glasses. So I don't know if we're going to keep that or not. We'll see. I just mostly wanted people to be able to see because it was being so dark. Anyways, enough of this. So we are going to clean. Let me start by cleaning the side here. Chris is back for more. I mean, I have to say, it's not a new camera, Simon. It's just, I got this, I'll put a picture up somewhere because it's a ring light, but my webcam is sitting in the middle of the ring. You can see it in my glasses. See that circle? But it does provide a lot of light here, which I do appreciate. I just don't, because I have glasses, it's just kind of weird. So the camera's not new. The camera's just that one. I really love that webcam, but it's just mounted in a ring light. Anyways, okay, I'm scrolling back up here. Thank you, Miss Nikki and Tammy Pie. Shay is fine. It's a Dutch name. I think Groot, of course, and I can't help but think about what's the show? Now my brain just froze. It's all that fabulous music. I love the opening scene of the very first one because he's on an alien planet and he's like dancing in the thing. Oh my goodness, I'm totally blanking. I'm so sorry. And thank you, Shay, for the congrats on my pre-order. Hi, Susan. Hello, everyone. My hair it's growing, isn't it? I'm at that point where I'm like, if you've watched my channel, I had a super, super small, super, super short pixie, and I'm trying to grow it out. But like, I don't know at what point I need to chop it, like bob it so that I don't have a mullet. I don't know. I wish Miss Veronica lived nearby. Guardians of the Galaxy. Thank you, Groot. See, I call Groot as a nickname. Maybe that's what I should do. I'll have to mess with it because I don't like that. Like that annoys me. And it wasn't doing it as much in the class, but it's because I had everything shoved back farther. I mean, if I shoved it back farther, it would probably. but I could raise it up and then tilt it. I'll mess around with it later. But for now, I think you can see me at least. Let's see it. We're going to turn it this way, actually, because let's move some things. Let's move, because we're going to clean. I have to go in about an hour. Oh, dear me. Let's break things. Let's break things together. I have to go in about an hour because I need to meet my daughter, which is important. Daughters are important. So that's why I didn't want to get why after last week do I even have this here? It's so bad, isn't it? But so I just thought we'll just get out and chit chat and just have a chit chat. The Lost Forest was fine. I cleaned that all off. The other was let me just double check. I haven't double checked this one. Was Stephen's Spirit Within. They're fine. I wiped it. Yeah, they don't feel sticky at all. So they survived. They survived. Miss Nikki is being much better than me. The whole marketing aspect of things is so stressful for me. So I appreciate Nikki being better at it than me. I did set the pre-order out for my Oracle deck. It is live this morning, and so it's so exciting and it's so scary. You feel very awkward and very vulnerable when you put something out. It's stressful. It's exciting. It's a good stress, but it is very stressful. I think anybody who writes or paints or anything like that, really anything that you do, it doesn't have to be artistic, but when we have to put ourselves out there in that way, it's stressful. It's one thing to obviously talk about other people's decks and things like that, but when you're putting your own thing out there, it is scary. It's very, again, it's a good feeling it's a good situation to be in. And I am blessed to be able to do so. But at the same time, it is very stressful. Yeah. Shay says she's at the end. It's almost scary when you get to the end because you're like, okay, now I have to take this and put this out. So yeah, I feel you, Shay. Just keep one step at a time. Just my whole thing, last year we talked about this. 2019 to me was very stressful. It was just a lot that went on, and it was a long year, and it was a stressful year. But at the end of it, there were two things, and I can't. One of them was Frozen 2. So in Frozen 2, there's a whole song about where the Anna, the younger sister, she talks about a song that her. Oh, I'm gonna have to turn my Etsy. Thank you, Etsy. Thank you for everyone who bought this deck. Puts in sings a song about, I can't even remember the song now, but she talks about doing the next right thing. When you kind of come up to the wall and you're feeling overwhelmed, just do the next right thing. And then there was another book that I read that had something similar in it about just do the next thing. What is the next thing in front of you? Do it, right? And so that has been I think it was in December maybe when I saw that and I read it within a week or so of each other. And that really helped me to just take a breath and say, you know what? Just do the next thing that needs to be done. What is the next right thing? What is the next thing to do? And just do it, right? Not over stress about it, not overthink about it. Just what's the next thing to do? One foot in front of the other. And that has really been very helpful. And in terms of even just, again, I know this is probably irritating to some people, but, even just, with the deck, I got everything done, get everything ready. Anna's on, she knows how that is. But to have that moment where you have to set make it live, it's just that kind of pit of the stomach, You get all those things that you're not good enough and you should, what do you have any business making a deck, and all that kind of stuff starts. So all that stuff starts going, and it's just like, no, what is the next step? The next step is just doing it. And the people who will find it and find it useful will find it and find it useful. And the people who won't, that's great. They'll be able to buy something else. That's not your job, right? It's not my job. My job is to do what feels good and right to me and create the best thing I can create, and and then let go of the rest of it. So it's just like, oh, but it's a good feeling. It's a good bad feeling. It's a mixed up feeling. So I appreciate all of everybody's kindness and Miss Nikki's support, because I'm really bad about this stuff. Breathe, right? Susan said it's a recovery AA. I think it should be a life concept. Don't you agree, Susan? I feel like it should just be a life concept. Don't overthink. Just do the next right thing. Do what's best for you in front of you to do, and not worry about all the things the uncontrollables. Like, I can't control everything, and I just have to do what's the next best thing to do. So that's really helped me. I know, and it's from Frozen 2. I'm telling you what, folks, musicals can teach you many life lessons. And I think I probably was crying in the movie theater. I cry in Disney movies all the time. But I think that, I know I was, because I was feeling like discouraged by the end of the year. It's not like everything was horrible last year, but there was a lot of stress. My sister had cancer. I chopped all my hair off. No, it was a stressful year. And I was kind of feeling like, okay, was this a failure of a year? And so having this, like, no, like, I stepped my way through whatever I had to step my way through. And just, face forward, take the next step. So there's no topic, Claire. I'm sorry. It's just one of those days. I wrapped up my tarot class. I obviously got the Oracle deck preview live. And so I knew I was no condition, and I have to go meet my daughter in an hour, because daughters are precious. And, so I knew I was not really up for a strong topic. So I guess the topic is just do the next right thing. And that's going to be to clean this section. It's a free for all. We did it last week. We were supposed to do this cubicle last week, but we ended up now, and these are a little bit messy again, but this is because of tarot class, because I had to grab a couple things from tarot class. So I made a mess out of our cleaned up things, but it's easy to fix. It's very easy to fix. So don't worry. The cleanliness has stayed pretty intact until class today. I need my glasses. There we go. So no, I didn't. The camera is making me more colorful than I am. Look, my hair looks the color of, I do have red in my hair that doesn't normally show up, but this is extra red. Right now, I'm either blue or I'm more warm tone than I normally am. So we're kind of leaving it at warm tone right now. So this is a color that I do dye it. And I probably should dye it a little redder, but I kind of don't want to do any damage to it as it's growing out. So I'm a little leery to do any dyeing. The lighting's actually not doing it. Something to do with, I don't know. I don't know if my camera's dying, but I have a choice between, that's better. Got a little bit better. I have a choice between blue tone. That might be more natural. That looks better. That looks like more my natural color. And then I hit save. Like, I get it just the way I want, and I hit save. But then it always comes back up, and then I'm blue again. My hair does naturally have red in it, but not as much red as that was. Anyway, I mean, it has. I've had my hair dyed every color red you can imagine. All right, so what are we doing? Oracle decks. A bit of both on my screen, but yeah, I know. She's got a laptop, so yes. I haven't. I would love that. I don't have. This is like I don't have any gray in my hair. My grandmother didn't either. I dyed it right after I cut it all off, but that was literally only hair that was about this long. So most of this is my natural hair color. Um, so I've dyed it funky colors. No, the only color, I mean, I've dyed it a red that was more like a maroon. I wouldn't mind having beautiful white hair. Like a lot of people, like the beautiful, oh, I don't want to call her name isn't Hag. It's Wood Hag or Woodland Hag. Is it Woodland Hag on YouTube? I'm so sorry if I'm calling you something wrong, but I think it's like Woodland Hag. And it is, she like was growing it out to gray. And then she chopped it all off in a pixie to get it back to just the gray. And she looks gorgeous. She looks absolutely beautiful. My mom doesn't have much gray, and my grandma didn't have gray until I think she was like 80. So it's not really in yeah, she's gorgeous anyways, but she looks gorgeous with her hair gray too. It looks amazing. So it's not something that I have. I'm sure I'll get it eventually, but not yet. Tammy says she is no. Patrick is requesting a Britney Spears blonde. I have never dyed my hair blonde. I can't get the red out of my hair. So if I try to dye it, say a brown without any red in it, it doesn't take. So really the only colors that I can dye is to have it redder. So that's really generally what I only do because the red, I guess if I stripped it or something, maybe I could get the red tones out of it, but why would I do that? I love red hair and it goes with freckles and I have bazillion freckles. So bazillion freckles plus red hair works. So we'll just roll with it. Okay. So we talked about, I think everything we need to talk about. I did put, and we'll leave the subject of my beautiful Oracle deck. I am very thrilled with it. I did put a long rambling video up, as I always like to do. But in the link of that is, in the link of that is a short version. So if you don't like long videos, then you can go to the short version. Hello, Lost and Lit. I'm a big fan. I don't know how you do this all the time. Stay home. I don't. I'm mostly stumbling through, and Nikki's hauling me through the whole thing. I just gave my first live stream. Oh, congratulations! It gets stressful. It is stressful, but you just plow forward. It's just getting used to hearing yourself talk. That's the worst thing. Are you going to show the deck just briefly? Sure. Miss Nikki is not, let me just say, Miss Nikki is not being paid to advertise my deck. She's just my whip holder. She's so funny. I think you're going to be able to see it, but see, it's too bright. So I think you'll be better off seeing it in the video because this thing, let me see if I can turn it. It's a new light, folks. New light. It won't let me go any lower. It's a little bit bright to see it. There's water. Here's the new moon. They're hexagon shaped. These are my favorite. This is one of my favorite cards. It's just too bright. That's the problem. I wonder if I just turn the light. No, I'm going to mess up my lighting if I do that. Maybe if I hold it back here. I don't know. It's too bright. Go watch the video. It's better to watch. This is one of my favorites too, the Middle World. So size-wise, though, you can see the difference here. I think that's what Nikki wanted to show. I do have the short one will show it as well as the big one. So this is a little one. There's a little baby one, and there's a bigger one. Oh, they're so cute. That's so cute. Um, so yeah, but there's a slideshow that's really short. That's only 4 minutes, and then there's a 24-minute one because my friend Bart said, "Can you make one that's shorter than that?" After we saw the longer one, and then he told me to make a 10 or 15-minute video, and that was 23 minutes. And then I I messaged Patrick and I was like, I can't make a 10 or 15-minute video. Like I did a 23-minute one and I did a 23-minute video and that's as short as I can make it. I'm just not a short video maker. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I know, but people watch them and know that that's who I am. I know. I know. It's so bad. But that's why we have 3 versions. We have a very short one that has no speech in it. We have an hour one, which is me. That's the natural me. And then we have 23-minute one, which was intended to be a 10-minute one. I just can't do it. I know, Anna, I may shift it part way, but it's just so much easier. I know it is bad. You still lose percentage no matter where you sell it. But I am just doing it for the first pre-order part, and then so that will be before the advertising program Etsy's putting in. Well, they're doing something different with Etsy that hasn't kicked in yet. So I have to sit down and sort that out, but I didn't want to hold up the pre-order any longer. I'll have to talk to you later, Anna. It is, but any shop you use has fees. So it's just one of those things that really stinks. You have to factor the fees in. It says that my big long video isn't showing in my YouTube feed. I don't know. I'll take a look at it after. I'll make a note and take a look. I don't think I can do it while I'm on. I'll take a look at it when I get off. I thought I made it public. So I don't know. Oh, you're right. You're right. I won't. Okay. All right. Well, maybe I can fix it right here. I thought I made it public unlisted. Oh, you know what I probably did? I probably didn't save it. Okay. I hit done, but I didn't save it. Sorry. Whoops. Okay. Bye, Claire. Etsy has fees on the shipping. Etsy shipping though ends up being cheaper than going to the post office. It's just all of it's a big mess, right? It's just you gotta pay the piper in so many different ways. But thankfully the 22% is not right now. I just have to get it sorted out before they do that. Thank you, Simon. Simon said he got a notification. I thought it was already on, but I must not have hit saved. I must have just hit done. Yeah, no, Jada, you just saw it because I just put it. I thought it was public, but it's not. Oh well, this is the way it goes. Okay, enough about that. Let's shift gears here. So what this mess is here, I know everybody probably thinks this is still a mess, but it's actually not. This is pretty organized now and neat. This is my favorite Oracle decks, my favorite tarot decks, and my favorite Oracle and tarot decks that I use all the time in readings, professional readings, my readings that I do. Well, sorry, is there a difference in what the creator gets if I pay with PayPal versus paying with Etsy? No, I don't believe so. Etsy does their fees before, and then you'll get a fee for PayPal or you'll get a fee for Etsy payment. So it doesn't matter. Just do whatever's best for you. So last week, if you missed it last week I went through every single one of my favorite stacks. So if you missed it last week, we went through all of my favorite tarot decks and all of my favorite oracle decks. Every single one of them, except for I think we missed one. I remember seeing, the Light Seers Tarot we missed because that was over there too. I think that was the only one we missed. Yes. Yeah. Anna's been checking all this out. She's stopped her Etsy. If you're going to buy something from Anna, just go straight to her website. I have my website open. It's a little more complicated. Wix used to be a real problem with their shopping carts because I do readings, which don't have shipping. And so it really throws things off because it doesn't allow you for that listing to say this is no shipping on this. And so it just made it so complicated to have readings versus items that actually ship. And so that's my problem. And that's one of the things that Etsy is just easier about. I can just say on the Etsy listing, this is a reading and there's no shipping, or this is a deck and it has shipping. So Anna's been neck deep in this trying to figure it out, because if you do work with Etsy, heads up, if you do use Etsy, they're doing this new thing where they're forcing you, if you make so much money, they're forcing you into a advertisement that ends up taking an additional 12% versus, what they were already taking already. See, they didn't used to have that. That's the thing, Luna or Anna. They didn't used to allow you per listing to say that it was free shipping. It had to be for the whole entire shop. So it's a mess. It's definitely, Etsy is one of those things that have been really great, I believe, for tarot readers, right? I think it's been a great place to go into it. Well, I'll shift it before then. I'm just doing it for the first 150 on Etsy, and then I'll shift it before then. So, I just didn't have the time to figure out what I was going to do and didn't want to delay it even further because everybody was like, when are you putting it up? But anyways, I do think Etsy's been a great place for readers. Like, people do go to Etsy for getting readings and things of that nature. And so it's just too bad that it's definitely the fees have just started to get where, they have to make money, right? Anything that you're on, it doesn't matter what, shopping cart thing you're going to use, even if it's just PayPal, they do their fees too. So, no matter what, you're going to pay fees, but Etsy's definitely getting to that point where it's getting like ridiculous. So, yeah, it's too bad. Yes, Jada, this is my journey system painted. So my journey system has tokens if you like casting, or it has cards if you want them painted. And yes, they were painted by myself, all by myself. Mostly watercolor, pretty much all watercolor, except for 4 cards. 4 cards have a little bit of Procreate on them because I can't. The same, it's 45 cards, a system. So if you think about, again, I don't want to like bore people because people have already or will watch the video. So I don't want to like force people to reorder things or hear it all again. But my journey system is 45 symbols. So the tokens, 45 symbols on the tokens. The deck is 45, but there's a bonus card. And the pre-order, the first 150 on the pre-order have a free a bonus token. So I like many things too. I don't know. I would just say go to my website. If you're having trouble with the links, I'm just going to put this in here. I would just go to my website and you can go to the Journey Oracle from there. I'll put this in. Maybe, who knows, YouTube might be acting up. Story.com. And then you can just go to Journey System and choose Oracle deck there. So that might be the better thing. Hello there, Miss Shay. We have 2 Shays in the house. But anyways, again, I don't want to oversell it, because there are videos up of it. So I appreciate the questions, though. I appreciate the questions. So last week we went through all my favorites. So if you missed that, you can go back and watch that. Although I have to say, I can't imagine rewatching that, but go for it. This week, because I don't have as much time, because I again need to meet my daughter. I'm just going over this cubicle, which is what I have left. These are decks that I really want to check out a little bit closer this year. Whatever happened to your aunt? It turned into this. It started out as an animal oracle. I think I talk about that in one of the journeys to the journey token. It started out as an animal oracle deck and it turned into this. So what you see was the start. In terms of the size of paintings, I think Anna asked that. They vary, but most of them are 7 by 7 inches, 7 inch by 7 inch square, or 6.5 by 6.5 square. Most of them are around that. I have some that are a bit bigger than that. I'm going to have to get a shelf like that. This is great. This is an IKEA 4x4. I've had it literally for years. It has to have been at least 12 years. Not always for Oracle. It was this is a desk that connects to it, and it's fantastic. Anyways, okay, I keep getting sidetracked. So these are decks that I don't know what I think about them yet, or I kind of think I know, but they haven't gotten... I know. It's so hard for me, Patrick. He knows me well. It's not that I think people are bored so much as it's already out there. Go watch me talk about it for an hour in the other video. I don't want to leak so much into this that people are like, okay, can we talk about something else? But it has been a 2-year process. I am enjoying it. And stressing and enjoying it. So thank you. I appreciate everybody and being so kind. I do. It's stressful. It's embarrassing and it's stressful. It's all that stuff. It's a bit of everything. Maybe I'll do a different live video. Oh, that's okay, but thank you. That's so sweet of you. No, this isn't a live chat for the launch of my Oracle. This is finishing this up. I can do a live chat, later, and people can ask questions if they want. Oh my goodness. Now I'm going to get stressed. You're stressing me out, Patrick. Okay. Is that better? I will definitely, if you have questions, I'll answer the questions for sure. Is that better? Somebody asked me. This is a live chat. Hello, Captain Nolan. Is that better, Groot? Happy. Oh, I'm sticking. I see that. I don't know. Did you say your cards were square? No, they're not square. They are hexagon. Just like the tokens, because it's so bright. I know it's just a bad format to show. They are hexagon shaped. This is just too bright of a light. This is the same shape as the tokens. I wouldn't have made a deck if I couldn't keep it hexagon. It was when I saw that I could print it hexagon, that's when I decided to do it. Because over the course of developing the tokens, the hexagon shape was kind of that synchronistic happenstance, and it created like spread shapes and things like that. And I would not have printed it or I wouldn't have done it any other way. So that's the only reason that I ended up continuing to paint it, was because I could keep the hexagon shape. So both the mini and the regular size, the travel size, and the one are hexagon shape, because that's the shape it's supposed to be. So honeycomb shape, yeah, hexagon, six-sided, I guess. Oh, for the witches, it's hexagon. Hexagon is not just witches, it's just geometry, I think. Jada, do you have class planned around this deck? Miss Jada. I don't have one right now. I have a class on the symbols. So I already have a class on, which is no different, right? So working with this versus the tokens, in terms of casting, it's different. But in terms of going through the symbols, I have something sort of made already. Not sort of, I already have something made. So in the future, I'll probably redo it to modify it for just focusing on the 45 symbols, and then maybe talk about casting and the cards. But nothing has changed in the deck versus the symbols, other than that extra card. But the 45 symbol system is the exact same. None of the meanings have changed. None of the keywords have changed. It is just another version. Some people wanted a visual card version. Other people like to cast. So that hasn't changed there. No problem. Jay is like, last question. It's okay. I don't mind answering questions. Claire, when I was a student, I and others who were in the group designed a pod in comb shape, and we were one of the, oh, that's awesome. No, I mean, you can likely link some sacred, I'm sure, to hexagons. Yes, for sure. Plus it has on the back, so just like in the tokens, the back has the I can never say it. I bet you Captain Nolan knows what it's called. But it has the platonic shape for water, which is a D20, which is a dice that you get with it, and it's part of the system. You can roll off of casting charts. So that is on the back of the tokens. That's also on the back of the deck. So that is definitely sacred geometry. But the platonic shapes are exciting part of it for me, because I love dice playing and I love to roll dice. It's a Captain Nolan. I was just, Shay, it's so interesting. I guess we're not cleaning, are we? I just was reading a history of the D20, Shay, and we do think Dungeons & Dragons. I play Dungeons & Dragons. We are playing tomorrow with my family. We do every week. This week will be twice this week. But everybody associates it with Dungeons & Dragons, but it has actually a really old history. I will actually right here, because I have it linked, because I just thought it was so awesome. Copy this link. Maybe I just have to click it. Oh, no. Okay. Copy link. Let me see if this works. It's such an old history. I didn't realize that the D20 goes back as far as 305 BC in Egypt, with the D20 and the D12. How awesome. Oh, shoot. I just closed, you guys. Oh, no. Are you still here? Oh, no. Did I lose you? Yes, Shay, you're right. The Egyptians. Here, I'm just going to put this, if you want to go read about the history of dice. But I think that is awesome that it has such an old history, that I didn't realize that. So, I should have done something like that, Captain Nolan. No, it just gets you to the 20th animal, plant, or crystal. I know, nerd brains are all activating. I love that part of it. Not everybody who uses the tokens. Oh, hello, Miss Ginger. Not everybody who uses my tokens uses the roll charts. I love the roll charts because you can change them up. I have roll charts for OMs. I found a D24 for a roll chart for runes. Of course, all your animals, plants, and it makes 60 more cards into the system without having 60 cards, or 60 tokens would be a lot to cast from. So I love the roll charts and the use of the D20. Not everybody uses it though, so you don't have to. It's just something I enjoy. I know, because they kind of look. Chris says he can lay our cards out in D&D encounters. They kind of remind me of, what's that game with the where you lay out like the land tiles? I've never played it. It's not Caravan. It's I can't remember what it's called. You lay out like land tiles. Somebody will know what it is. I can't remember what it's called. Roll charts. Yeah, it's got a chart in the back of the guidebook so that if you pull the animal card, you can just read it as the animal card. You don't have to do anything else with it if you don't want to, or you can roll a D20 and get a specific animal message. Same thing with the Catan. Yes, thank you, Soren. You can crystal, you can just do crystal energy, or you can roll a D20 for a specific crystal or plant. And then there's a blank chart, so you can make your own. Then you can put all 20 animals that you want, all 20 crystals that you want, all 20 that, and kind of make your own. So that is what a roll chart is. It is a chart. I don't think I can reach the guidebook to be able to. And I don't think you'll be able to see it. Oh, because it's too bright. Again, if you watch the video, even the short one shows it. Yeah, you can kind of see it. It's so bright because of that new light. I'm not sure if we're going to like this light. But see, it's a roll chart here. And these are animals. And these are plants. And these are crystals. And it says 1 through 20. And you can roll the D20. And you can get a specific animal or plant or crystal, and then there is a blank one so that you can make your own, so you have your own favorite ones. And then I also have one for OMs, because there's 20 OMs. I don't do 25. And so there's a chart for that. If you get the branches of the tree, then you could roll for the OMs and get an OM reading. Or if you get the roots of a tree, you can roll a D24 and get a rune message that's more specific. So it's just fun, right? It's a layer of customization, so that you can put different things in that. That is just fun. It's fun to me, and it's also lets it be focused, a bigger energy be focused in, which is a lot of fun to do. So I love it. Yeah, tarot is great for campaign themes. I had somebody last week, almost the wrong person, but somebody got a hold of that. I can't remember what the name of the deck is. I'm blanking. Where that not deck of impossible things. There's a deck in D&D that you don't necessarily want certain people to get, because they will use it and like get themselves sucked into some other dimension. And he got a hold of one of those decks, but it was right at the end. And our priest got a hold of it before he did, because he's a very chaotic character. And luckily she got a hold of it. And she hopefully will keep him from pulling a card. Because they are in the castles of Strahd. And they had worked we've been playing Strahd over a year. And he got there's this part in the castle where there's this glowing light in these balls of color. And of course, the first thing he did was grab one and throw it in there and go into the thing, and got sucked completely across to the other side of the map after all that work to get into the castle. And of course, everybody had to follow him. It was ridiculous. So we do not want him having the deck of many things to end up in another dimension. Anyways. We are so off topic. We are so far removed from what time is it? I do have to, I guess we're not cleaning, because clearly we are not. Can I show you the animal? It's hard to see, Patrick. I have this new light and it's not conducive to card showing. I have to work on it. I know, I guess I'm trying to be good and have something that you guys could enjoy, but my Oracle deck is side trailing it because people are forcing me to be good and promote my own things, which is awkward. Okay, it's hard to see. That is the animal card. This was probably the hardest thing for me to do because, you know, my art style is generally speaking more along the lines of, you know, like this, where it's more washes that speak of color and motion and movement. So that's like a bit more like my typical art style, like disruption. But so doing something like this was, I didn't know it would be this unconducive to card showing. I have to work on the setup. I just got it yesterday because I was so dark for my classes. You know, I teach classes, and so I can't have it be that dark, but I have to kind of play with the setup a little bit. It was fine for class. It just isn't great for this. But anyways, this was hard for me because I obviously wanted Raven and I wanted my wolf and I wanted bear. And then I have the spider web getting spider in there too. So this was a challenge for me because it's a little outside of my comfort zone in terms of painting. But I also already edged the cards. I may have to, which is bad. Like I probably should not have done that before all the advertising was done. I already edged it in brown. That's the only animal card in this deck. See, we're confused now. We're confusing people, Patrick, because you said the animal card. There's only an animal card, one crystal card, and one plant card. Animal card is for spirit support. The crystal card is for soul support, and the plant card is for physical support and have a general meaning. And then if you want to get a specific animal message, then you roll your D20, consult your chart, either my chart or the chart that you put the animals you want. So if you want an owl, you can have an owl. At some point down the road, I'm not saying that I won't do an animal, plant, and or crystal expansion. Right now I'm finishing a rune deck. So I have half of the rune deck done. It's going to be printed in a hexagon so that they can be used together. So, you know, there'll be other things that can be added to it down the road if you want to use it with it. But for right now, it's important that the core 45 symbols will stay as that sort of core. And then the animals and all those extra things are honing in those specific cards and those more specific symbols. So that's kind of how I see it, is it's a 45 card system, a symbol system. Yeah, Chris has been being harassed by me because he likes runes. So I've been sending him pictures of the rune cards as I paint them. Am I halfway done? I'm almost halfway done with the runes. So, anyways, brain freeze, and I'm going to shuffle my own, sit here and shuffle my own deck. Nikki, right now, I am enjoying the moment. It is fun. It's just awkward. It's just a little awkward. It's easier, like if you're just making a video and you're not live and that kind of stuff. But thank you. I appreciate you guys allowing me to chit chat about it for longer than a little bit. Nice. Soren, the guidebook can be hard, isn't it? The guidebook can be a hard, that can be a hard point, you know, because I recommend Soren, I recommend that you do it as you go. That was a mistake that I made with the Lenormand deck. The Lenormand deck I did afterwards. Oh, I'm going to throw cards around. Yeah, so I did that all at the end, and I was like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. I should have done it as I went. But then the symbols, I kind of had crashed out quickly because I worked for a long time to set the system up. So that I didn't do as I went either. So I would say that as you, if you're making a deck, do your guidebook as you go, because otherwise you just then you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm finished. I painted the last painting. And then what happens? Then you're like, oh shoot, now I got to write a guidebook. Yes, I have those on my table. Wabi Sabi asked, have you ever wanted to work with the extended Anglo-Saxon runes? This is a set of the Anglo-Saxons. I've done runes since the early 90s, and I've always used the Elder Futhark. So that's definitely my main base for sure. But I really do enjoy working with the Anglo-Saxon. One of the books, I think it's over there. All my rune books are over there because I'm working on my rune deck. There's a really thin book that goes over the Anglo-Saxon that I really love. I really appreciate that book, but I can't even tell you where it is right now. It's either by my bed or by my paint table because I'm working through that. But anyways, but my point is, if you're making a deck, make your guidebook as you go, because otherwise you're going to be full of victory and then bam, you're going to be hitting the head. With a whole lot more to do. I know, I'm rambling. I keep seeing pull a card. This is the one that jumped out. So here's the card that jumped out when I was just shuffling. See, I gotta fix the lighting situation. Let me see. Can I just turn this off? Woo, I don't think that's very helpful. See the difference? This is with all my lights on as I normally have them, and the light from the window, and it's just so dark. So that's why I was adding the light, but it doesn't help for showing cards because I used to be able to go like this, and now I can't because the ring light's on it. But this is the card I pulled. This is the Conception card. This is one of my favorite of the series. And I wasn't sure what I was going to do it. So this is out of a set of 4, which go through the life cycle, right? So it's all about cycles and energy. The whole deck is about cycles, energy, and how everything is connected. And the life cycle goes through that spark of conception, the childhood, which is all about development and exploration, the adulthood, which is all about achieving things. It's kind of connected with the quadrants in astrology. And then the elder card of maturity. And of course, we're in those different stages. We're in and out of those different stages. I didn't know how I was going to be able to depict it, but I ended up making a spider web, and it kind of grows as the thing goes along the way. And it has the season cards loosely in the background. And so this is the Conception card. This is that spark, right? Follow the spark. If I don't generally do 1-card readings. I like 3-card readings, but they ask for a 1-card reading. If I were to have this as just a 1-card reading, it's that follow that spark, like pay attention to these sparks of ideas that you have. And instead of letting them just fade off, start to bring them into being, like Soren's, building an oracle deck. Like, have an idea of whether or not my brain just died. Having an idea, but instead of just letting it brush away, make sure that you lean into that energy and do something with it. We all have all these thoughts and ideas. We have all these things that we want to change or shift about ourselves. And that spark is that moment when you realize that a shift or change or growth needs to happen. And instead of ignoring it or kind of brushing it aside or putting it off till later, move into that, lean into that energy, so that you can move forward with that and grow with it. That's what I would, I guess, do with a single card. I don't generally do single card readings, but there you go. There you go. Thank you, Miss Nikki. I promise she's not paid for that. She's just really good at forcing me. Sparky the spider. I know, Sparky, then he grows and the web grows into the elder. And like I said earlier, the elder, I don't know if I can quickly find it, but that's probably my favorite card in the deck. I love the water card and I love the trunk of the tree. I love the middle world card. I love the painting for this. I know it's my own painting. That seems really rude to say. I do love winter as well. But, you do have your favorites. Let me see if I can find it. But the elder card is probably one of my, because the elder card, the web is complete. And there is that sense of it's all uniform to a degree, that she's done it over and over again. This elder grandmother spider, she's made this web over and over and over again. And she knows the way to make it. She knows how to make the foundations well. She understands that everything needs to connect and to support the web and to support her livelihood. And so, I love that. And it's true. It's so true. I mean, it's silly to say that it would be silly to say that I didn't, right? Because obviously this deck is made for me. It really is something that if you're going to make a deck, I think it should be it should be the deck that you want for yourself. At least that's how I approach it. I made the Lenormand deck that I wanted for myself, and I pick it up today, and I still absolutely love it. It's the deck for me. And I wanted an oracle deck that really leaned into the understanding that everything is connected. Energy doesn't sit in nice, neat piles. We don't just have, here is, fire, air, water, earth, spirit, and they don't sit in nice, neat piles. It's interacting, it's touching, it's flowing, it's, rising up actively, it's simmering down. It's just always in flux and flow and touching, and we're part of that. And so I wanted a deck that allows you to really see what is the energy that's going on around ourselves or around a situation, and how can you best navigate that. That's the purpose of it. I agree with Captain Nolan. I think that it would be silly for an artist to say they didn't love something about it. We can be nervous about it, but I didn't create a deck that I don't love. I created the deck that I wanted. So I do love it. I can't help it. Miss Nikki, everybody's forcing me into saying that I love what I did. Yes, I do. Maybe in 10 years, I will think, okay, I could have made something different, but right here and right now, I love everything about it. It's exciting. Oh, no, Sherry. That is a horrible feeling. She thought she left her purse at the bookstore and it was in the backseat of her car. That is a terrible feeling, to feel like you, or you left your phone. I have done this. I left it in the bathroom stall of the movie theater. And that is, I think I'll just do expansions, not additions. I know there's a reason to do additions, but I always feel like if somebody's already bought it, you don't really want to buy it again. So I'm going to focus on expansion, not changes. It has to just be what it is. I know everybody's already hounding me for a tarot deck. When are you going to do a tarot deck? I'm like, I just finished this one. I'm in the midst of a rune deck, which is a short deck, right? That's 24 cards. But I'm already getting messages about, are you going to make a tarot deck? Are you going to make? I'm like, yes, I'm going to make a tarot deck, but first I'm going to finish a rune deck. Hello, Miss Molly. I'm actually getting ready to leave. We were supposed to be cleaning together, but we got no cleaning done because I do want to do a Kipper deck. Sherry. I do. because I haven't quite found one that I'm absolutely in love with. And again, that's what you should do. Like, what is it you want to do for yourself? Deste, I wouldn't be able to do. I don't think that's that's somebody's system. So, I mean, I would have to get permission from that person to do their system because that's their system. It's not like tarot is an old system that we can now just make over and over again. But Deste is a newer system that's, somebody else's baby. So I couldn't do that. I have had people ask me about that as well. But anyways, yeah. And if I look ahead and say, what would I like to have? What would kind of decks I would like to make? I want to finish, obviously, my rune deck. I definitely want to do a tarot deck. I really want to do an ocean themed healing deck, but not like a mushy healing deck, but like a grief work deck, because obviously that's something that I work a lot with and it's really tied to ocean. So I have that one in the back of my head. I'm just not sure. I just looked, speaking of Soren, this deck to me, I don't know who all has this. I did a walkthrough of this and then I deleted it because I'm bad at managing my sticks, my memory sticks. This postcard's from the Liminal Space. This feels like a modern Sibylla deck, and I don't know exactly why. It's kind of sassy and saucy. It feels like a modern Sibylla deck. Now, there aren't a bunch of people in it, but energetically, this is the closest thing that I've had that no, probably mermaids and gold foiled pearls. No, more ocean, like what does the water doing? Like crashing waves and calm ponds and typhoons and hurricanes and rivers and things like that. I'll try to do the walkthrough of this Soren. I don't know what it is. I would like somebody else that has this to try and that maybe uses Sibylla, but there's something about this deck. I've been using it a bunch. I have a little reading up that's just a pull one, do a dominoes reading, and do like 3 Lenormand cards. And there's something about this deck that reminds me of Sibylla, and I can't quite yet put my finger on it, but it has it just has a sassy bluntness to it that feels like Sibylla. Sibylla is very sassy and very blunt for sure. What do you think about the Vice Versa Tarot? I do not have the Vice Versa Tarot. See, I have to stop and think. There's one that I have. There's a newer one. There's a Vice Versa one that has the 8 of Swords that I can't tolerate. I'm sorry. I don't like to bash things, but that 8 of Swords, there's a newer deck that has sort of like the opposites of things or whatever, but you're seeing what's like coming at the next. No, that's not the Vice Versa. That's the reverse. What is the one that's like the next second? It's like you're seeing the cards just a minute later or something like that. And the 8 of Swords, which is all about how you are entrapped by your own mind and you need to figure out a way out. And the card is somebody come and releasing the person. It literally made my heart hurt, the After Tarot. The deck is really cool, but that card for me personally, again, other people might think, oh yeah, that's really cool. For me, oh no. The answer to the 8 of Swords is not that somebody comes and frees you. The answer to the 8 of Swords is that you find your way out of your own mental mess that you made. Again, that's a personal understanding. And I was like, oh no, can't do that. For me, sometimes there's a deck that just has that one card in it that you just can't go there. But the Vice Versa shows the backside. I do like that. I have that deck, and that's pretty cool. And I actually think the After Tarot deck is really cool as well. It's just that one card just for me personally, it's not a card I could have come up on the table, because every time I would be like, no, don't listen. If I was doing it for, I could never use it in client readings. I was like, no, don't listen to that picture. You get yourself out of your own mess. Okay, I gotta go. I am going to be late and I need to leave to go see my daughter. So it can sometimes, Molly says, it's funny how one or two cards, for the most part, I've gotten pretty comfortable with working my way around a situation or particular cards, because I don't read strictly Rider-Waite-Smith, and yet most of the decks out there are based on Rider-Waite-Smith. So I always have to work around usually the Three of Swords, the Ten of Swords, and for me, the Four of Cups is not quite how I read it. So I usually have to work around those. So I'm like, I can, I'm comfortable just saying, yeah, no, that's not exactly how I see it. This is the way I read it. But that one was just too like, no, not for me. And sometimes it's beautiful decks, like is it the Brady Tarot? The Brady Tarot is absolutely gorgeous, but there's a card in there that just does not go with the way I read. And I think the title's on the deck that kind of throws it. And that's a beautiful deck. That's a deck I wouldn't mind having, but it's just one I just wouldn't use. So it's like, sometimes there are those things that stop you from being able to, yeah, exactly, Soren. I don't see the Four of Pentacles as a miser or greedy. It's about time to hold on to your resources. It's not a time to be throwing your resources out there, but, keep your resources close, use what you are having around you. It's not time to, so I don't think of that as greediness. I think that it's a time for stable finances. Work with what you have. Don't buy a bunch of stuff. Don't put your money all out there. And so that's something I always have to work around. So that one is one. So it's usually the Ten of Swords, Three of Swords, and usually the Four of Cups. But I did not get any cleaning done, and it's everybody's fault. So I'm not going to take the blame for it. People want to see like what's on this. I will do it. I'll do it. We'll come back to this. I'm not going to clean it without you guys, because these are all the decks that I really want to kind of figure out what I feel about them. And so I think it would be fun to go through those. Like that's the cubicle I'd like to get through this year and kind of get a feel. Is it going on to my favorite list, or is it going back into a box to go on hiatus for a little while? So I think it would be fun. Is it Sherry's birthday? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Sherry. Happy birthday to you. And many more. Probably not tomorrow. We're doing an extra D&D day, and it's a big one because we're, like I said, in the middle of Straw's Castle, vampires and werewolves and all kinds of things like that. So probably not tomorrow, but I will try to do it this week before next chat. Otherwise, we'll be doing 3 weeks straight of craziness. So anyways, goodbye. So long, farewell. Auf Wiedersehen, goodbye. We flit, we float, how fleetingly we fly. Goodbye. Goodbye. Now go watch The Sound of Music.